Welcome to Metro Minutes.
The Michael Brown controversy finds its way to Columbia College. Plus, find out how your commute may be affected by construction on the Blue Line.
We'll take you to both the Tomato Fest and Oktoberfest and see what's trending now.
Learn how to protect yourself from credit card fraud and find out where to call with your Ebola questions.
Plus, we will hear why Chicago is the most bike-friendly city in the nation and where to get an unforgettable Halloween costume.
Find out what 2 new facilities opened in the Chicago area and hear what new sports team is coming to Columbia.
Plus, we'll learn why GQ named Chicago the top drinking city in the nation.
As the tension rises in Ukraine, the president has expressed concern over the recent actions of pro-Russian activists.
On the heels of the activists clashing with Ukrainian forces, President Obama and Russian President Vladimir Putin talked over the phone yesterday about the crisis. According to the White House, the president expressed concern about Russia's involvement in the uprisings in Ukraine. The conversation took place just after the pro-Russian group seized Ukrainian government buildings. Meanwhile, Putin denied involvement and said that such speculations are based on inaccurate information. President Obama also urged Putin to use his influence to release the buildings that they seized in eastern Ukraine. This is the second phone call the two have had over the crisis this month.
A deal between the city and electric companies Integris means an increase is close by. Residential electric bills are expected to rise 14% to 18% in June, affecting 720,000 homes and businesses. Under the deal, Integris will impose a fixed monthly charge on customers regardless of how much electricity they consume. Single-family households will be paying around $22 a month, while apartment and condo users will expect to pay around $9. Along with these increases, add another $5.50 for ComEd's delivery hike.
The CTA wants a makeover. Manufacturers from around the world are being invited to submit proposals to create the CTA's next generation train. The new 7000 series will replace the CTA's oldest rail cars, which are almost 30 years old. The CTA is asking bidders to propose the use of alternative technologies. Officials say the CTA is looking to reduce the average age of its rail fleet to less than 10 years by 2022.
Have you started your Christmas shopping already? Sales for the holiday season are on the rise. According to the National Retail Federation, U.S. sales will increase 4%, the strongest growth in 3 years for the retail selling period. Analysts say consumer confidence remains higher than last year due to an improving market and a surge in hiring last
year. It's the first time a sitting president has landed at the Gary Airport. President Obama was in town recently to campaign for Democratic candidates Governor Pat Quinn and Senator Dick Durbin. Obama also delivered a speech on the economy at Northwestern University. The president spoke of plans to expand investments in energy and technology to make America a magnet for middle-class jobs.
A landmark church in the South Loop is facing a major lawsuit after a freak accident last month. Here's Lindsay McColmo with the story. Lindsay?
Churches are meant to be a place of worship and safety, but for one Chicago woman, it meant losing her life.
A small memorial sits at the corner of Michigan Avenue and Cullerton Street, where Sarah Bean lost her life in early September. While waiting across the street with her boyfriend, Bean was struck in the head by a portion of a stone gargoyle that fell from the tower of Second Presbyterian Church, a building that received National Landmark status in 2013 and was built in 1874.
That National Historic Landmark status really relates very directly to the sanctuary itself, rather than the building as a whole.
Bill Tyer goes to the church and is treasurer of Friends of Historic Second Church, a nonprofit that helps fund renovation projects for the building.
The way we've kind of split it in the past is that the church congregation takes responsibility for the exterior of the building and kind of the mechanical systems, and then Friends really focuses much more on the art.
Tyer says current projects include restoring the sanctuary's windows, which could cost nearly $10 million total.
According to the city's inspection website, the church received a violation in April for not keeping the building free of holes and loose fixtures. City officials declined to comment on if that violation may have been linked to this accident. They also wouldn't say what they're doing to make sure it never happens again.
Bonnie McDonald is the president of Landmarks Illinois, a statewide nonprofit that works to save buildings.
Religious properties in Chicago have seen a tremendous pressure because there's the decline in the size of congregations.
McDonald says parishioners aren't the only people that should be caring for the city's buildings. Anyone can volunteer or make a small donation.
We all need to care about our city to ensure that it has its sustainability into the future. We're all stewards for it.
The lawsuit filed by Bean's boyfriend, Lance Johnson, claims negligence for allowing the wall to, quote, exist in a dangerous and unrepaired condition. Ann, Raquel, and Crystal, it will take time to see what happens next for Bean's family. Back to you.
So, Lindsay, how much was the lawsuit for?
Based on my research, I couldn't find an exact amount, but she does leave behind 2 children, and obviously, growing up, they'll have their needs.
And Lindsay, what exactly is the city doing to correct the issue?
You know, I did reach out to the Department of Buildings and the alderman, the alderwoman, and both departments declined to comment.
Thanks, Lindsay.
The new library in the news, we thought it'd be interesting to find out what people like to read. Here's Tiffany Wilson.
That page turner you just can't put down, is it funny, exciting, or maybe it's thought-provoking? On this week's 60-second Sound Off, we took to the streets to ask Chicagoans, what's your favorite book?
I really love The Great Gatsby. I know it sounds a little cliche because that's like one book you always have to read in high school, but I really like the whole story behind it and just the complexity of it. It's a lot deeper than a lot of people think.
My favorite book is the Fallen series. It's a love story and how love conquers all.
I'd have to say my favorite book is Jack Kerouac's On the Road. It's about a young man who develops a bit of a wanderlust and falls in love with the road and the adventures that this country can hold.
My favorite book is Mastery by Robert Greene. Mastery is about really discovering your true life's calling and then following the path to get there by any means necessary.
And my favorite book is The Giving Tree. Like a tree that kept giving and giving, but like I never received, and it sort of teaches you like even though you give and give, like good people, they give and give, but you know, they never ask for anything in return. It sort of just teaches you that.
My new favorite is Let the Lover Be by Cherie L. Greer. This captivating story takes the reader from chilly Chicago to hot and spicy New Orleans, where the main character not only finds love, but also finds herself. I just couldn't put it down. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Tiffany. Illinois is launching a statewide initiative for students to master a second language. If students show a high level of proficiency in one or more languages, a special credential called the State Seal of Biliteracy will be added to their high school diplomas and transcripts. High school grads can get a seal in a variety of languages, including Spanish, French, Chinese, Latin, as well as American Sign Language. Earning a state seal gives students an advantage in college admissions, scholarships, internships, and jobs that require proficiency in foreign language.
Nearly 16,000 red light camera tickets have recently been issued. So far, only 126 will be rescinded. Normally, only 2 tickets are issued daily as a result of each camera. But suddenly, tickets vary from 50 one day and then back down to 2 tickets the next. An explanation has not been given as to what exactly causes the dramatic changes. The city has hired a third independent party to investigate why the sudden change in dozens of intersections.
Road construction can mess up traffic anywhere in the Chicago area, but things can get especially tough in downtown Chicago.
The construction at State and Randolph has been a hassle for most Chicagoans the last few weeks. One-lane traffic is still open, but is making things a little harder for drivers and pedestrians.
It really slows me down. You know, I burn a lot of gas, you know, it's a lot of stuff going on, and I really can't get to see as much as I want to see. So when I'm stopping at a red light or stopping because of traffic, then really I'm burning time, I'm wasting gas, and I'm not really getting the full effect of Chicago.
It doesn't look the greatest, and it probably looks very congested, and the sidewalks are very narrow, so you're kind of bumping into people, so you might be in other people's space, and it just doesn't look nice.
It's just inconvenient for everyone, you know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to break my ankle walking down the street.
Looking for a thriller to watch this month? Here's what's trending now. The movie Nightcrawler, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, comes out this Halloween. The film is about a journalist who captures breaking news stories by visiting gory Los Angeles crime scenes. Check out part of the trailer.
We beat the police.
I will never ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. Excuse me, I have something you'll be very excited about.
You have a good eye. I want you to contact me when you have something.
Something like this.
Think of our newscast as a screaming woman running down the street with her throat cut.
You will be seeing me again.
Any unit, residential 211.
I am all about Jake Gyllenhaal, but definitely not about Halloween movies.
I am all about Halloween movies. You can catch me there this Halloween. I'm Carly Craig.
And I'm Lindsay McComo. You've been watching Metro Minutes.